Paul Lamar Hunter is the 19th child out of 21 children.
Hold on.
Somebody say, oh yeah!
Yeah, she was like, you were busy doing some mathematics.
Well, if you look at it, every year, my father was laying the pipe and my mother was getting a delight.
I'm a hoochie man.
My mother was pregnant with the 14th child, which is my brother Larry. He's a pastor in Memphis, Tennessee. At that particular time, they were living in a 2-bedroom home.
Wait, hold on. 14 kids living in a 2-bedroom house. How is it possible? How many people live in a room? In a 2-bedroom house, 14. So wait, including your mom and your dad,
Yes.
16 people living in a 2-bedroom house. How?
He passed away from the house that was given to my mother and father for $1. My mother received benefits, death benefits, and we received those death benefits all the way until we were like 18, 19 years old. And I said to my team, this is our moment to come back and shock the world. This is our time. This is our championship. Let's go out and win it. We came back, my brother, and we won.
That's awesome.
By 1 point.
Why don't you try to repeat what your dad did?
No.
Why?
No, 21 children?
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, beautiful people, wherever you're watching us from around the world. All right. Welcome once again to another great episode of One-on-One on K84 Podcast with your host and friend, Kenna the Greatest. Yeah. We got truly an amazing guest in the studio today. But before we dive in the conversation, make sure to become part of the K84 family and community. Just go on all social media platforms and search K84 Podcast. Follow, subscribe, like, tell a friend, tell another friend. You know what I mean? You know how we do it. Yeah, all right. So stick around. The show kicks off right after this.
It's K84, turn up, it's official. All right. Before we proceed to give you what you need, let me say this, right? If you got any story to share, or if you want to be on this show, this is a safe and open space for all to come on and have real conversation. It doesn't matter whatever you do, your race, your background, or wherever. Hey, K84 Podcast is a space for all. So, without much further delay, let me introduce you my guest. Paul Lamar Hunter is the 19th child out of 21 children born in Mississippi in a large family where challenges were constant, but so was resilient. He went on to achieve his college dream and build a career as a coach, author, public speaker, and an activist. Known for his bold presence in the political arena, he stands firm in his tough criticism on family and community issue. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready. Sit tight, stay glued to your seat, and enjoy incredible conversation with my guest, Paul Lamar Hunter, on One-on-One on K84 Podcast. All right. Welcome, Paul. How you doing, my brother?
Hey, thank you for having me on. And I just want to say I'm excited to be a guest on your podcast show. So I watch you all the time, and I think that you are going to take your podcast to the next level. So I'm going to support you 100%, my friend.
Definitely. I appreciate that, brother. Okay, so before we do this, right, I always love to play this game with my guests.
Yes.
I'll ask you, some questions, and then I'll give you two answers, and then you choose one and give me the reason why. Okay, so KFC or McDonald's?
KFC.
Why KFC?
I always grew up eating KFC. I think the food is healthy compared to McDonald's. And so That's the reason why I chose KFC, is because the food, in my opinion, is healthy. McDonald's, I think the fries are stale. Only thing that they have good is the fish fillet. That's it.
Okay. So which one would you go for, Hyundai or Toyota?
Hyundai. I love Hyundai because when you drive a Hyundai, longevity.
Okay.
Longevity. And another thing is that the maintenance on the car is very cheap.
Oh, so Christmas or Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. It's a time to get together with friends and family, cousins, relatives, people that you haven't seen in years. And there's a lot of conversation, positive conversation about life, about kids, about what's going on in your career, and just to get together and just mingle and just, that family time is very important, because you never know when it's going to be the last time that you will see your relative.
Okay. So where would you choose to live, in LA or Miami?
I tell you what, LA and Miami, very expensive to live. I'm not going to live in Miami. I'm not going to live in LA.
But if you got to choose one.
You got
to choose one.
Oh my God. I tell you what, it will not be Los Angeles, California. It will be Miami.
Okay, why Miami though?
I don't have to deal with the earthquakes.
but you got hurricanes on that side too.
Yes, you do. But the earthquakes, I just don't want to deal with them. I would just rather deal with the hurricane season, because sometime it hits, sometime it miss. So I would rather take a chance with that.
By the way, hurricane is deadly.
I know
rain
it's
at the
deadly.
same time.
I know it's deadly, but I'd rather take my chance in Miami than, driving down the street and then there's a earthquake and then, you go on to another world. So.
All right. Okay. So who is Paul?
Paul Lamar Hunter is the 19th child out of 21 children.
Hold on. 21?
Yes.
19 out of 21?
19 out of 21 children. My mother birthed 21 children by my dad.
The same, so your mom was married to your dad, and then she popped it up 21 times?
21.
How?
Amazing children.
How is that possible?
My mother birthed.
Wait. How is that possible? 21?
21.
Wait, so like every year she was like, you were busy doing some mathematics.
Well, if you look at it, every year, my father was laying the pipe and my mother was getting a delight. So, but if you break it down, honestly, if you break the math down, my mother stayed pregnant for 15 straight years. So she won more championships than Michael Jordan. She won more Super Bowls than Tom Brady. So Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, Scottie Pippen, they have nothing on my mother when it comes to winning a championship, because my mother and my father, they did it. They literally did it. They really set a record, and it's amazing to have 10 brothers and 11 sisters. As of today, 65 grandchildren and 87 great grandchildren. So So if you look at it, we have a football team. We have a hockey team. We have a basketball team. We have a volleyball team. So you do not want to mess. So you literally do not want to mess with the Hunter family.
That's a lot. 21 kids. So when you grew up, right? Did you have a conversation either with your mom or your dad? Why did they do that? Did you have that kind of conversation with?
I had a conversation with my mother.
What did she say?
And my mother used to always tell us, whatever God gives her, that's what she's going to receive. So, the Lord blessed her to birth 21 children.
Did they plan it?
No, it wasn't no plan. It was just like whatever God gave her, she was going to take it. She used to drill that in our heads. Whatever the Lord gives her, she was going to take it, and she wasn't going to complain about it. And that's what I love about my father and my mother, because even though we had some difficult times, we were able to manage those difficult times and turn those difficult times into great times.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
I see. So growing up with your siblings, how was it like to be in a household? Wait. How many houses were you living? Is it like 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom house or 5-bedroom or a mansion, or how was it like?
Well, I have to tell this true story.
Okay.
My mother was pregnant with the 14th child, which is my brother Larry. He's a pastor in Memphis, Tennessee. At that particular time, they were living in a 2-bedroom home.
Wait, hold on. 14 kids living in a 2-bedroom house. How is it possible? How many people live in a room in 2-bedroom house? 14. So wait, including your mom and your dad,
yes.
16 people living in a 2-bedroom house. How? How is that possible?
I tell you what, man, when you look at the Hunter family story, it's possible. It is literally possible. So to get back to the story, she was pregnant with the 14th child. One day, the sheriff came knocking on the door.
For what?
Because somebody had filed a complaint stating that it was too many people living in this 2-bedroom home. Mom and dad had 72 hours to vacate. They literally had 72 hours to vacate. So mom and dad went to church that particular night. Now, back in the old days, you would get at church, they will, if you have a prayer request that was urgent, where you need God to perform a miracle, back then they will place you into a circle, and they will surround you, and they will lay hands on you.
Okay. That
God was going to perform a miracle in your life. And that's what they did for my father and my mother. They laid hands, believing that God was going to perform a miracle. And the next day, my brother, a miracle happened. A man came knocking at the door, and he told my father and mother, I have an 18-bedroom house that I want you guys to see.
Hold on. 18-bedroom house?
18-bedroom house.
Oh,
yes.
Lord.
Yes. And you know what? They went with that man. They saw that 18-bedroom house. The man told my parents at that particular time, this house is yours just for $1. $1, 4 quarters, 100 pennies. Do you know that my mother and my father did not have $1 to purchase this home?
So how did they get it then?
A miracle. The man went into his wallet. He gave my parents that $1 to purchase the home. That home is a miracle home. That home is a blessed home. And so we end up, my parents and my siblings that was living at that time end up moving in. I was born in that house years later. So that's the reason why it's important to value family time, because family is very important. So if you look at that story, my parents could have given up, but they did not. The reason why is because they had a purpose, and so they put their purpose above their circumstances. And God is good
all the time.
Yes.
The time, God is good. So, tell me this: how is it like being with among 21 kids?
It has his moment, because I'm the 19th child. So I have a sister that's the 20th, which is Elsie, and my baby sister LaShonda. And I remember as a toddler, the older siblings used to discipline us, used to do homework with us, and got us prepared for school. And as little kids, you don't want to go to school. You don't want to wake up when it's time to go to school. You basically want to sleep in. And I remember a time that we made a pact that LC, LaShonda, and myself, we all made a pact that once we become adults, that we were going to beat our older siblings' ass for disciplining us, for telling us to do homework. We were going to get them. But as we got older, we grew up and we look back on it in retrospect. What they was doing was preparing us for life.
Yeah. So at what point did your parents feel like, hey, it's enough, we can't go any longer?
I tell you what, it was God that told my mother, hey, the 21st child, LaShonda Hunter, is enough. So she stopped right there. And I'm glad that she stopped right there.
Did she go on some birth control or some? Why did she do it?
My mother, her faith. And she did not believe in birth control. She's a type of woman that's, let nature take its course.
Man, that's a lot.
Yes, it is.
Kids.
Yes.
21 kids. So then you guys, your family was like a popular, was celebrated, or I don't know how to put it, but it was like in your hood or in your town, hey, people know this family, hey, 21. The 21 family. Yeah. Amazing.
Everybody in the inner city and also in the city of Racine, Wisconsin, which the population is about 95,000. Everybody knew the Hunter family. And I'm telling you, my brother, no one messed with us. We never really got into an altercation because people in the city of Racine knew that if you fight one, you must fight all.
All right. So, as a 19th kid, right?
Yes.
How did you feel in between? You know what I mean?
As a 19th child, I can definitely say I did not feel left out at all. I was the person that I observed everything that was going on with my older siblings. So, if I saw my older siblings make a mistake, I take mental note and say, when I get that age, I'm going to make sure that I do not make those kind of mistakes. So some of my sisters and my brother's failures, their mistakes, was basically a setup for opportunity to make a comeback for a person like me, because you can basically learn from people's mistakes. And that's what I was able to do, is learn from my siblings' mistakes. And let me say this, that my mother, my father is not perfect, and they could not give what they didn't have. My siblings are not perfect. As the 19th child, I am not perfect. So, we had learned a lot. We made mistakes. We failed. But you know what? We got our asses up and we kept going and we kept fighting and fighting and fighting.
That's good. So what are certain things, people usually think about, large family, hey, people be like, because they usually is at most people do 3. At most, other race should be just 1 or 2, but black family sometimes at most maybe 4 or 5. But to take it to that fair extreme, 21 kids.
Okay, it's amazing, my brother. I have to repeat it. 10 boys, 11 girls, all came out healthy, strong, and beautiful. And it's a miracle. I know there are mothers out there today wish that they can have more children, but they couldn't. They had 1, they had 2, they maybe had 3 or 4 or 5, but after that it was over for them. But you can tell that my mother womb were blessed from God to have birth 21 natural children. So it's amazing. It's beautiful to have a lot of siblings.
Okay, so let's discuss this, right? Talking of attention, as children or kids growing up, how do you guys get equal attention? Because there are a lot of you. So how do you guys get equal attention?
Well, basically, we did not. And because my father had to work 2 jobs. You got a big family. He had to work 2 jobs. He worked at Case and he worked at Bale City. first shift, second shift, and only time he was at home sometimes on the weekends. And so my mother, she worked a part-time job, and that's the reason why I give a lot of credit to my father, to my mother, to my siblings, because my siblings, they had to forego their education, and I became, basically the first to graduate from college. So I give a lot of credit to my mother, to my father, and also to my siblings. So, so that's the reason why I'm here today to tell this story.
So tell me this, right? Do you remember all their names?
Yeah,
21?
yeah.
Go through it. Let me hear some of it from the oldest to
from the oldest. We looking at Elizabeth, and from her you looking at
how old is she?
73.
73.
Yeah, she's an old woman today.
Oh.
She's probably gonna watch this video because I called her old, so she's probably gonna get upset. Then you have Celeste. Then you have Barbara Ann. Then you have my brother James. Then you have Bonnie. Then you have Zolene. Then you have Michael. Then you have Calvin. Then you have Patrick. Then you have Jackie. Then you have Kiney. Then you have Sonia. Then you have Timothy. Then you have Greg. Then you have Thomas. Then you have Elsie. Then you have LaShonda, and then you have me as well. And you got to understand that my mother lost 2 children at stillbirth. They can't. Yeah. So
wait. Aside from that 21, she lost another 2.
Yes.
That would have made 23.
No. It would have been 20. It would have been 21.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But they passed. You understand? So, yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. So, growing up, among all your siblings, who inspired you, or who do you look up to?
I tell you what, I looked up to all of them because I learned a lot from each of my siblings. My siblings to me are a tremendous blessing. They all have their different characters, different beliefs, different values, and I was able to grab different things from them to insert into my life to make me a better man, to make me a better father, to make me just a better person, especially when it comes to education as well. So a lot of things that I do today, I just don't do it for myself. I do it also for my siblings because I want the best, not only for me, but the best for my siblings, because we grew up dirt poor. We literally grew up dirt poor. And so when I go on these podcast shows and I go on these television shows, it is to inspire people that no matter how your circumstances look like, you have purpose, and your purpose shall always be bigger than your circumstances.
That's good. So among your family, your peers, growing up, when you go to school, were you being teased?
Oh, most definitely. You got to understand that growing up in a family, man, we had hand-me-downs. And so I remember a time, man, brother, that I did not have on the same socks. You understand? It was mismatched socks that I had to wear to school. Some days, my brother might wear that uniform on the Monday. Tuesday, I have it on. You understand? It was like that in the Hunter family. And what is so amazing is that in our community, growing up in the 60s and 70s and 80s, the community was so tight that when you were in need, people would stop by the Hunter family house and just knock on the door. They would literally knock on the door and leave clothes, food, toys, because they did not want us to go without.
That's dope. That's
yes.
dope. But now people don't. Yeah, we live in a different world and time now than that kind of like bond, togetherness, or unity.
Yes.
Everyone is selfish.
Yes. So everyone is what you call, the word is cynical. They looking out for each other. And I hate to say this, that I think that my generation would be the last generation that's, would go out into this world and just continue to help people. But I think once we exit out of this world, it's going to be dog eat dog.
I see. So among your siblings, right, who did you like or love the most?
There is no like or love the most. I love them equally. Just,
but there will be some or particular one like, hey, you know what I mean? Because you pick, because it's like you guys are a lot. So definitely people will pick, you know what I mean? We're human, so you pick sides. So whom among them do you?
Well, I am a person, I want balance. And so I want equal opportunity. So when I'm dealing with my siblings, I'm going to have balance with all across the board. I'm having balance. I'm having equality across the board. I love them all the same. I like them all the same.
So who was you much closer to? Like you tell your secret, you tell stuff, you have more deep conversation with, because definitely you can't tell all of them, but you could have one or two, like, very, very close and connected to.
Okay, when it came to deep secrets, I would share it with my brother Timothy, and also my brother Greg, and my nephew Anthony, because we did a lot of dirt in back home in the city of Racine, Wisconsin.
All right, so what certain dirt you did? Show me, something that you guys did growing up.
Because we grew up poor, and so I remember a time we used to go to this meat store, and we used to go there and we used to steal. Because we were hungry.
Were you ever caught stealing meat?
So, we had a strategic plan, and we put together. One would go up to the counter to distract to the cashier, and the other two would be other. I'm literally telling you the truth. The other two would be in there, okay, digging into the refrigerator, grabbing the steaks. We love steak at that particular time. And the two would grab like 4 steaks, stick it down their pants, cover it up, and then exit right on out. We did at least about twice, sometimes 3 times out of the week. And then we'll go home and just cook.
Right. Were you ever caught?
No, we never got caught. Never got caught. And then we would go to this bread store, and we would steal bread. We couldn't do it during the wintertime because we couldn't do it during the summertime because it was hot. We did all the stealing during the wintertime because we get to wear these big, heavy jackets.
Wait, so did your parents ever like, hey, where do you get this stuff from? Food from?
My parents to this day do not know.
What about your siblings? What about your other siblings? They didn't know that. Hey, where?
No, my older siblings, they do not know. They do not know at all. They don't know at all. It was just the 4, what we call back then the 4 students. We call ourselves the 4 students because, like I said, we had a strategic plan, and we put it together. We went into the store, we did what it had to do, and we exit on out of there.
So usually when you guys bring it home and you guys cook it, you know what I mean? When they come in, they ask, where did this food coming from? Did they ever ask, where is this food coming from?
We never cooked it in front of my mother.
So where do you cook it?
Because we knew our mother would be gone with her friends. And so we would get back and cook it right away and eat it right away. But we would share it with my sisters at that particular time that was at home, which was Elsie and LaShonda. We would share it with them.
So how was your dad keeping up with the family? Because 21 is a lot of kids. So bills, food, how was he keeping up?
I tell you what, like I said, my dad worked 2 jobs. And so Monday through Friday, my dad was working extremely hard to provide for the family.
And it wasn't even enough because this is not the normal, you know what I mean? This is not the normal. So 21 kids?
21 kids.
Even with 2 jobs?
Yep, it was abnormal. And that's the reason why the church played a critical role in bringing food to the Hunter family house. See, it's important in our society where you can go to the storehouse, as the Bible said, which is the church, to receive food. And so the church was very instrumental in bringing in food sometime twice out of the week to the Hunter family.
That's dope.
But on the weekend, my father, if he wasn't busy, he was at home. He would be out there playing kickball with us. He would be out there watching my sisters play double dutch. He would be out there being a coach. And he would divide the team up. We would play kickball. He would make sure that the team is balanced with boys and girls. And also he will have us go into the streets and race each other to see who has the fastest feet. My father used to do that a lot. And we would just, have fun. Just literally have fun.
Okay, coming out from, a large family of that sort, did you have friends? Because we barely have a lot of siblings. So did you have friends outside?
The friends at that particular time was the neighbors, because they had kids and they allowed their kids to interact with us. And it's totally different today. If you walk out in today's society, you're not going to see kids on the street. We were active on the streets. When mama and daddy would say, hey, you can stay out, but when that street light comes on, you better be home. Yeah. And so it's different today. It's literally totally different today. And we were active on the outside.
Oh, I see. So in school, right? Did you all go to the same school?
Some of us did and some of us didn't. So you got to understand that first 10 unit, they went to the same school. Some of us was in elementary school. Some of us was in middle school. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. So growing up, what are certain memories like when you sit down quietly and then you observe or you reminisce back? What are certain memories that comes in mind with you and your family?
I think the best memory that comes in mind is seeing my mother and father start preparing for Sunday meal, and how they will sit down and say, okay, this is what we cooking for Sunday. And also having the pastor come over. So Saturday night, mom and dad will start preparing for dinner for Sunday, because on Sundays, you got those pastors and they always want to preach a good sermon. And once they done preaching a sermon, they will go to the member's house to eat. And so mom and dad would get up in the kitchen Saturday night and start preparing. And they will have my older siblings in there helping them prepare, because mom and dad used to always say, hey, one day you're going to have to leave this house. So we need to teach you how to cook. We need to teach you how to clean. And that was instrumental. So if you ever, go to my siblings' house, their house is just as clean as possible. So mom and dad will cook that meal. And then Sunday morning, they would get up about 5-6 o'clock and start warming up the meal. And by 10 o'clock, we are exiting out of the door. So we had 2 station wagons and we had a van. Oh. And so we were all load up, but one person would stay behind.
And who usually stay behind?
It would be an older one. It would be an older sibling that would stay behind. Usually my brother James, Elizabeth, Celeste, she will alternate it between the boys and the girl to stay behind to warm up the food. She would give a precise time to start warming up the food. So when they got home, the food would be ready after church. And so we would go to church. And like I said, in those 2 station wagons, in the van, after church, we will come back home. If it's during football season, we'll have the television on, the black and white television on, watching the Green Bay Packers game and just sitting there eating. and the pastor would be sitting there eating, and we just sitting around having a great conversation. There's a movie called Soul Food. So if you ever watch that movie, it reminds me of my family, of how we used to have those big festival meals on Sundays after church. And we would just sit there, watch football, and have conversations and talk about what happened in Bible study and what was the sermon all about.
Okay, so tell me this. Living with, your siblings, right? Did you ever fight?
My siblings, they fought. Some of my sisters.
But you? Did you ever
I had a fight with my brother Tim. I had a fight with my brother Greg.
So what usually do you guys fight on?
Well, it was just fighting over the TV, fighting, you know what I'm saying? That's little stuff. Fighting over little clothes, you understand? I didn't want you to wear my shirt, and you wearing my shirt without my permission. It was just little stuff, but, we were able to get over those little setbacks,
I see.
So we had that sibling rivalry, fighting physically, going at it mentally. We had that in the Hunter family, even with my sisters.
That's good.
Yeah.
So let's talk about education, right?
Yes.
I think you were the second one or the first one to graduate out of, your entire family.
Yes. Some of my siblings went to college, and I'm glad because they laid the foundation, and I just came on and just piled on with the bricks. And my nieces came on and piled on, and my nephews came on and piled on the bricks. So they laid the foundation that education is important. And so I became the first to graduate from college in 2012. I graduated from Upper Iowa University. I have a bachelor's in business administration, and I am blessed to receive that degree because looking at my family lineage, my father lineage, my mother lineage, no one never completed college. They attended college, but no one never completed college. So, it's a blessing that I was the first to graduate from college because like I said, they laid the foundation. I'm just putting on bricks after bricks after bricks, and nieces and nephews is taking it to the next level. So, my degree represents courage. My degree represents discipline. My degree represents guidance. It represents hope. And also, I just didn't do it for me. I graduated for my father, for my mother, for my siblings, for my relatives, also for people in the inner city as well.
Okay. Tell me this. So how is the family looking like in terms of your siblings? How do they turn out to be professions and the things growing up?
Well, a lot of my siblings, they had their moments. That's why I had said that none of us are perfect. Some of my brothers and sisters, they took a different journey. Some of them was on drugs and alcohol. Now they are free from that and they're living their best life. They pray for me every day, and I pray for them. That's why I tell you early on in this interview, no one is perfect.
That's true.
No one is perfect. And so you have to love despite of your siblings' failures. You have to love them, and you have to pray for them. And I am constantly praying for them because, they had experienced some hardships in their lives. And so sometimes you can experience hardships in your life and it can affect you mentally. And so if you don't have a can-do attitude and a strong mental attitude, you will fail. You will fall into the temptation of using drugs or you drinking alcohol or, living a crazy lifestyle. And so that's the reason why as a 55-year-old man, I don't drink. I do not do any drugs, don't want to do it. Whatsoever. I want to stay healthy. That's the reason why I tell people today, the way I came in this world is the way I'm living leaving this world.
All right. So growing up, did you have some challenges?
Oh, most definitely. I
Tell
had
me
some
some.
challenge. One of the challenges that I had academically, I used to struggle academically when it came to speaking. I had a speech impediment. I used to couldn't say the word San Francisco. I used to couldn't say the word hamburger. You understand?
Yeah.
I thought that I was just, crazy. I thought that I have some mental issues, but I did not. What I needed was someone to teach me one-on-one. So when you look at people today, we all have issues. We all have issues.
Yeah.
And you look at people that have struggle academically, what they need is repetition. And so I remember my sister Jackie, she got frustrated with me and she said, you must learn to break that word down. Break the word down, Paul. So, okay, all right. Say ham, burger. Now put it together. Hamburger, San Francisco.
That's funny.
So I struggle academically. Even when I was in college, I had struggle because I wasn't a great communicator. I wasn't a great writer, but I'm going to tell you something, my brother. What I was able to do was surround myself with positive men and women. You know what? If you want to be successful in life, surround yourself with smart people because they're going to elevate you academically to go to the next level.
That's true. Okay, so tell me this, right? Your mom wrote a book. Tell me about that book. I want to know.
My book, No Love, No Charity, The Success of the 19th Child, it literally chronicles my life, my relationship with my father, my relationship with my mother, my relationship with my siblings. And what's interesting about it is that I talk about the different personalities when it comes to my siblings, introvert, extroverts, you understand?
Yeah.
So I talk about their characters, their personalities. And also I talk about myself as well. Being a father for the first time, being afraid and coming into fatherhood and learning on the fly, and being a basketball coach and coaching my kids academically, coaching my kids in sports and developing a relationship with my kids. And I wanted to do something different that my father and my mother could not do because my parents did not want us to participate in sports. So I was able to become a basketball coach and coach my children, and also do homework with my children because my parents could not do homework with me because they had to provide. So I didn't get mad at that. I just said to myself as a young person that if I ever had kids, these are the things that I'm going to do. And I was able to put myself in a position to do those things with my children. And I talk about it in my book. My book give people hope. My people tell people that you can start at the bottom, be in this abyss, and you can climb your way to the top.
Okay, so you named your book No Love, No Charity, The Success of a 19th Child.
Yes.
Why did you name it that?
Well, because my mother, in 1970, she started the first homeless shelter in the city of Racine, Love and Charity Homeless Shelter. And so my mother shelter was focused on helping less fortunate people in our society.
Okay.
And so, like I said, my mother is not perfect. My father is not perfect. And so I named it No Love, No Charity is because I believe that, like the Bible said, that charity starts at home. If you are going to help somebody and disperse charity, let's do it at home first.
Okay, so that's great. So during days and times that things or life seems difficult, what keeps you inspired and motivated, and what keeps you going?
I think the most important thing that keeps me going is that I have a purpose. You talk about my book, and I look at how this book has generated so much clout, where people want to see me come on their television show, come on their podcast show, and just tell my story. It's so interesting because the book has been adapted into a screenplay, and the movie will be coming out in 2028 or 2029.
Oh,
so
that's dope.
Yeah,
that's dope.
So the screenplay is basically based on my book and also my mother's book, and which my mother book is Love and Charity, the life story of Louise Hunter. And it talks about her life growing up in Vicksburg, Mississippi, and also moving to Racine, Wisconsin. So that's what really keep me motivated, because it's guys like you that's look at the bio and read between the lines and say, hey, I must have this guest on. And so, you know, it keeps me motivated. You and other people that's email me and also say, hey, you have a great story, I want you on. It keeps me motivated. It keeps me want to continue to drive this story and make sure that it is dispersed all around the world, so people can say, wow, one woman birthed 21 children.
So what's the name of your mom again? You want to celebrate your mom and your dad. What's the name of your mom and your dad?
My father name is James Hunter. My mother name is Louise Hunter. And the title of my mother's book is Love and Charity, the life story of Louise Hunter and the Love and Charity Homeless Shelter. And the person that wrote the book, his name is Dennis James Woods. Now he's a former resident of Love and Charity. So his story is remarkable, because here you have a man that walked into my mom's shelter that was, you know, homeless, and pulled himself up by the bootstrap, and he's an entrepreneur to this day. He's a multi-millionaire to this day. So that's the reason why I'm so happy to be on your podcast, to let people know you can start at the bottom and you can work your way to the top.
That's dope. That's dope. I love that. I love that. So are they still alive, your parents?
No. My father died when I was 8 years old. My mother passed away 5 years ago. She was blessed with 85 years. Do you hear me? 85 awesome. Years. Awesome. And so, you know,
awesome.
When my father died when I was 8 years old, my brother, I had said, I'm going to outlive my father, because my father died when he was 42 years old.
What happened?
He went back home to Mississippi, Fayetteville, Mississippi, to go and see his mother. He saw his mother, ate food with his mother, had a great conversation with his mother, and he told mom that he was going to go out and see family and friends. And he was driving, and so he had to stop at the stoplight. When the light turned green, he proceeded. A car came out of nowhere, boom, hit him. And so he passed away.
That's sad.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's a big loss.
Yes, it is.
So how did you guys, cope with it? How did you guys manage through it? Because, hey, you're still a young kid, losing your father, your dad. How did you cope with it?
I tell you what, I cope with it with having people from the church come over and counsel my siblings and also myself, and just praying for us for a recovery, praying for us to become better people, because I grew up after that death of my brother, not my brother, but my father. It really, really devastated me, because I grew up with a lot of anger issues. I used to see parents drop their kids off to school, and I will imagine, seeing my dad drop me off to school. You understand? I grew up with a lot of anger issues, and because I was just devastated that my father was gone, and I only had 8 years with him. It's just difficult. When you don't have that father, the father represents leadership. The father represents strength. You understand? Yeah. And so when the father is absent, it's hard. It really is. It was hard on my mother. It was hard on it was hard on my siblings.
So how do you losing your dad at that age?
Hmm.
He was a main provider for the whole family.
Yes, he
So
was.
how did life unfold after that?
After that, it was very difficult. My mother received benefits, death benefits, and we received those death benefits all the way until we were like 18, 19 years old. But it's the community. It's the community, and I can tell you to this day, my brother, that when my father passed away, the community really poured into the Hunter family. And they made sure we were set financially. They made sure that we had food. They made sure that we had clothes. And when the day of the funeral of my father, it was so crowded. I'm talking about it was standing room only. That homegoing of my father was remarkable because everybody in the city of Racine was trying to get in to say their farewell to my father.
I see.
Yeah, because he made history. 21 children
Yeah,
by
he
one
did,
woman.
because you guys were not well known in your in the
Yes.
city. Like, hey, that 21 family, that 21 family, that 21 family. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's dope. So in your book, right, you said something like dealing with your brother. How did his death, affected you?
See, that was in 1976, and then in 1977. So you're dealing with back-to-back death. One for my brother, and then my father. So those two back-to-back deaths really devastated the Hunter family. My brother, he passed away from the house that was given to my mother and father for $1.
How did that happen?
It's a fire started, and so my older brother Michael, he got everybody out, but he couldn't get Thomas. And
How old was he?
Thomas was 7 at that time, and so my brother Michael, he got everybody out of the house. He could not get Thomas and me out of the house, and the fireman. I'll never forget this. The fireman was on the second floor. I was alive. The other fireman grabbed my brother and said, he's alive, but his pulse is weak. And the other fireman said, we have to get out of this house. So as they proceeded to go down the steps, fire was just, consuming everywhere, coming from the walls, coming from the floors. And so, my mother is so old-fashioned, my brother, when I tell you this, that when we made it downstairs to the kitchen and they made a right turn, they saw 2 garbage containers, one filled with sugar, the other filled with flour, because that's how old-fashioned my mother was.
Yeah.
They emptied out the contents, placed my brother in one and placed me in there, and ran right through the fire and escorted us right to the hospital. And a couple of days later, my brother passed away.
Oh,
But I survived. I survived. I survived, and I thank God that he had his hands on my life, because he had a bigger purpose for me, and you were part of that purpose, and that's the reason why I'm here with you. Isn't that amazing?
Oh yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, so tell me this, right? In your book, you wrote, "Hey, being the son of a preacher man."
Yes.
So what's the difference between being the son of a preacher man and a kid on the streets?
When you are a preacher kid, you have to be perfect, and there's a lot of pressure on preachers' kids. And when you are part of the what they call the body of Christ, and as a child, there's certain things you can't do, because you represent your father, you represent your mother, and so a street kid, they gets to go out and experiment, they gets to go to parties. We were not allowed to do that. You understand? Wednesday nights was Bible studies. You understand? Thursday night was choir practice. And then, Saturday morning we had to get up and start cleaning up the house. Sunday was church. So, the preacher kid had structure, you understand, had guidance, had discipline. And so, but we was constantly bombarded with the word of God, that we did not have time to be teenagers, to go to a prom, to go to a festival, to go to a football game, to go to a basketball game. You understand?
Yeah.
And so the street kid gets to go and enjoy those activities. So, you know, a lot of my siblings, when they became adults, they just kind of, you know, they ran away. You understand? Because, you know, they were just unhappy with that.
Okay, so tell me this. You know, in every family, right?
Yes.
There's some particular people in it that, hey, they're different.
Yes, yes,
No
yes.
matter what you do,
Yes.
they're gonna be different or do whatever they gotta do. So you coming from, you know, I mean, a religious kind of like family. Who among your siblings be like, I don't care, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do?
A lot of my siblings did that. A lot of my siblings did that they was going to do what they want to do, even though my mom advised them, you know, they should not party, they should not drink, they should not smoke weed. You understand? My mom advised them that it was bad. But you know what? Everybody has to, not everybody, I should say, but some people have to experience that typical lifestyle, so they can say, oh, that wasn't for me. That was a dumb move. That's why I had told you that I'm blessed to learn from my siblings' mistakes. I'm really am blessed to learn from their mistakes.
Were you ever tempted to be like, man, they're doing I also want to do it?
I was tempted, but I told myself no, because I seen other people. I seen what drugs and alcohol can do to people's lives. So, you know, it just wasn't for me. You know, I'm you know, like I stated earlier, the way I came in the world is the way I'm leaving this world.
Okay, you mentioned in your book, right?
Yeah.
The first time you had sex. Can you explain how that happened?
Oh boy, let me tell you this. I'm gonna tell all the ladies. If you listen to this interview in Minnesota, stay away from my brother, Timothy Charles Hunter. My brother, Timothy Charles Hunter. I'm telling you, my brother. I was 16 years old at that particular time, and I got out of school early, and I decided to stop by his house. I knocked on the door. He wasn't there, so I had turned the knob. He forgot to lock it, so I went into his apartment, and I waited for him. 5 minutes later, he walked in. He said, "Man, I'm glad you're here." And I said, "What's that? Why? He said, "Today is the day I'm going to make you a man. You coming with me."
Wait, so how old was your brother?
He's 3 years older than me. And he said, "You coming with me." And he took me to this woman's house.
How old was that woman?
46 years old, and I was 16 years old. And he told me he was going to make me a man. And
Wait, so in your mind, what was going on?
in my mind,
yeah,
I'm like, "Oh, make me a man." I didn't know it was sex. So we get to this, you know, lady house that lives downstairs from him, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And he told the woman, he said, "I want you to make my brother a man."
Okay, so break it down. How did it happen? How did, you know what I mean, break it
And
down?
I told him, "What do I supposed to do?" He said, "I want you to have sex with the woman." And I said, "I'm not having sex with that woman." That's what I told him. And he told the lady, he said, "We'll be right back." We stepped outside in the hallway. He grabbed me. "Listen here. If you don't have sex with that woman, I'm going to beat you up. I'm trying to make you a man." I went on in there, my brother, and the woman was like, "You must be a virgin." I said, "Yes, I am." She said, "I'm going to show you what to do." And then I just started, you know, to have sex with the woman because, you know, she, you know, started to, you know, play with my penis, and it got hard, and I started to have sex with the woman. And after I had got through, you know, I put my clothes on, and then I left, went upstairs to his apartment, and then he said, "You did it, huh?" I was like, "Yeah, I did it." But I said, "I'm getting ready to go home." And I went to my mother's house, and I wanted to tell my mother, but then I said, no, I'm not going to tell my mother. I said, I'm going to just tell my brother Greg. So I confided in Greg, and I told Greg, and I said, I'm having sex with this woman. And I said, Greg, all of this stuff came out of my penis. I didn't know what it was. And I told my brother Greg, I said, I'm never going over there by Tim's house again. And I said, I meant that. Let me tell you something, brother. 2 weeks later, I'm sitting up in there in that bed, and I'm thinking about, man, that really did feel good. And I said, Monday, I'm going to go over by that lady's house. And I went over there Monday, and man, we was in a relationship for like 2.5 years, man. That
For
woman,
real? Well,
yeah, that
she,
woman. Yeah.
She didn't have no kids?
Yes, I went to school with her kids.
Wait. You went to school? Hold on. You went to school with her kids?
Yes.
And then you banging her. So how did the kids find out?
The kids never found out. They never found out.
How was you guys doing that?
Because her kids played sports, so they would get home late from school.
Were her kids older than you?
No, we were same age. Yeah.
So apart from your
She
brother,
had 2 twins, boys.
So apart from your brother,
Yeah.
who knew that you were banging?
My two brothers, Timothy and Greg, and then my nephew Anthony.
So you were like a sneaky link.
Yes. But I tell you what, dude, I enjoyed it because she taught me a lot.
Okay, we never got caught, like, near miss, sort
Nope.
of like.
Never got caught.
Nobody saw you.
Mm-mm. And my brother Tim, I'm telling you, he was like, man, you going over there every day? I was like, yeah. she want me to come over every day. And then when the kids would go on the weekends, with their father, I would tell my mother that I'm going over by Tim's house to stay the night, but I'd be staying the night with the woman.
Wait, you were staying the night with the woman. So where were her kids?
Her kids were over. Only time I stayed the night with her is on the weekends, when her kids was with the father.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So you never get caught, like.
Never got caught. But that woman taught me a lot, what a woman likes.
Okay.
Yeah, sexually.
Okay.
And always, to have compassion and always communicate, always listen, to your significant loved one.
Okay.
So I took everything that she taught me, and I brought it into my relationship.
Okay, tell me this. At what point did you guys break up?
Well, I tell you what, I realized this, that talking to my brother Tim, he told me, you have to be a player. So you have to have multiple women. Because if you get addicted to one woman, it can come back and hurt you. And so the woman was way older than me. And, I knew it was time to go. You understand? It was just, she taught me a lot, and I was, having some good pleasure or exercise with her, and it was literally time to go. Yeah.
So how did it all happen? Did she take it, lightly? You're like, hey, I want to break up with you. Like, how did it all?
No, she did not. She didn't. Because she's a veteran. One thing about older women, I learned is that it's all about communication, and that's what she taught me. It's all about communication. And when it was time to go, it was time to go. And so I enjoyed the ride, my brother. I really did enjoy the ride. So.
Oh, wow. All right. In your book, you mentioned you were, a basketball coach. Tell me that experience.
I tell you what.
The wins and the losses, during that era.
It's all about cultivation. It's all about adding discipline, guidance, structure to the young men life, and also to my girls' life. I used to always tell my kids, I'm going to turn your weaknesses into your strength. I used to tell my kids that. All of my kids are right-handed. Everything that they do is right-handed when they were small. And I said, not with me. Everything that you're going to do is going to be with your left hand. You're going to dribble with your left hand. You're going to make layups with your left hand. And so I remember, coaching my son. And I had this team ever since they were in second grade. And then they were able to compete in the championship game when they were in fifth grade. But my son was a fourth grader at that time, playing up in the league. And I remember us going into a championship game. And we had prepared for this. And right before the game, one of my superstars, Lamar Hunter, he had said, "Coach, we're going to beat this team today." He said, "We beat them in the regular season by 18 points. And I said, "Lamar Hunter, not today. Today is the day that we will win by 1, 2, or 3 points." I told him that. And I tell you this, my brother, this story right here is a story of never giving up, what I'm about to say. This is a story that let people know that you can come from the bottom and work your way to the top. The first quarter, we were down 9 points. The second quarter, we were down 7 points. Halftime, we were down 7 points. The third quarter, we was down 7 points. The fourth quarter, start of the fourth quarter, we down 7 points. My brother, 2 minutes remaining in the game, I said, "Time out." I gathered the troops together. And I want people to know that you might be in a storm right now. Gather yourself together. And I said to my team, this is our opportunity. This is our moment to come back and shock the world. This is our time. This is our championship. Let's go out and win it. We came back, my brother, and we won.
That's awesome.
By 1 point. That's why my story is an underdog story. That's why my story is a story of never giving up.
Okay, so did any of your student, end up taking the sports professionally, or how?
They went to college and played D1 basketball.
Okay.
And some of them today are school teachers. Some of them today are principals. Some of them today are assistant coaches in the D1 basketball.
That's awesome.
And they always give me credit. They always,
awesome.
You know what's interesting is because I coached a long time. So some of the coaches right now that coach basketball, Division I basketball, they are coaching the kids that I used to coach.
Oh.
That's my son. That's literally my son age. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's amazing to see them, coaching now, and they always talk about Coach Lamar Hunter.
That's great. That's awesome. So, how many kids you got now?
I have 4. I have 2 daughters, 2 sons, and 1 granddaughter.
Okay, so why didn't you want to repeat, what your dad did?
Say that again.
Why don't you try to repeat what your dad did?
No.
Why?
No. 21 children?
Yeah.
Are you crazy? Man, let me tell you something. This man told me this story. He said it takes 6 men to carry a man to his grave, but it only takes 1 woman to drive him there. So do you think I want to have?
No, you could have beat that record. Like, yeah, your dad did this, so I must have beaten that record. Like, you know what I mean? You could have make it like 25. Like, yeah, trying to beat my dad's, record.
No, not me. I don't want to beat my dad's record whatsoever. I think what he did was great to have 21 children by 1 woman. And in today's society, you don't even see that. I was reading a story about a guy that has 23 kids, and it's by 17 women. You understand? And then it was a guy that have 7 kids, and he all have them by 6 women.
Okay, so did you have all your kids by one woman?
I'm a 1-woman person. But, I'm single now. So, been single for a while, so I get to do what I want to do. I get to play who I want to play with now because I'm single.
Right. So I see you have this, inscription on your hat. Trump is the first black president. Are you a supporter of Trump?
Yeah. Let me tell you something about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a good man. Donald Trump is our first, black president.
Wait. Obama is the first black president. So why would you say Donald Trump is the first black president?
Well, Trump has brought good to our community.
What good?
I'll tell you what. Barack Obama had started the pardons of nonviolent criminals when he was in office. Let's pardon nonviolent criminals. And so when you do the research, you will discover under his leadership, what he was able to do was tell people that, but they didn't pardon anybody that committed a nonviolent crime. They did not do that. What he did was he was basically people that wanted pardon, they had to pay for it. So what Trump did, and a lot of people know today, and you can do your own research, Trump was able to pardon Kodak Black, Lil Wayne, Kwame Kilpatrick, the former mayor of Detroit. Also, he was able to pardon Allison Johnson. And also, you heard of a guy named Jack Johnson. Back in the day, he was the heavyweight champion of the world. And he was accused of a crime. And they knew that this man did not commit this crime. And what Trump was able to do, he pardoned them. He gave them a pardon, and they were released from prison immediately. Obama started the pardon program to release African Americans and Latinos for nonviolent crimes, and he did not do that. He did not do that at all, and the research indicated that. So Trump also gave more money to black colleges than Obama did. Trump is for the American people.
Wait, so just a few days ago or a week ago or something, did you see that post Trump made about Obama and his wife?
Yes, I saw that.
Is it right? Is it fair?
Yeah, I tell you what, Trump is basically, he making fun of Barack Obama and his wife, because if you remember, Trump was invited to the White House when Obama had his press dinner, and Obama trolled Donald Trump. Trump never forgot about that. So what Trump is doing, he's just paying him back.
But okay, so how long would he continue? Because like any given opportunity, he wanna throw shade at Barack Obama. Yeah. So Trump is the man right now, my brother, and change should have came through Barack Obama, but change did not. Change is gonna come through Donald Trump. What kind of change are you talking about?
What I just mentioned, how he had pardoned people. What I just mentioned, how he gave money to black colleges. And also, most importantly, do you know it's easy for minorities people now to get a loan to start a business?
Are you sure of that?
Most definitely.
How?
Most definitely. If you go to Chase Bank right now and you have your LLC or any corporation and you want funding, you can get up to a total of $150,000, and you have 5 years to pay that money back.
Okay, check this out. The same administration, right? See what is going on now with immigration. ICE, even arresting people who are like born here, or people who did not immigrated from different countries here, but arresting people, the detention camps, and then all of that. Is it is it the right way to do it?
Well, I tell you what, you got to look at the past before you judge the future. Under Barack Obama leadership in his administration, Barack Obama deported more people than Donald Trump. A lot of people don't do their research and find out. He deported over 3.5 million people of immigrants. So you're dealing with the deep state. The deep state is so deep, my brother, that they going to put out certain information to dilute your thinking ability. They don't want you to know the truth about Barack Obama. The Democrats, to me, this is just my opinion, they are scumbags. But you have some scumbags that are some Republicans. You really do. So I'm calling all of them out. I'm not afraid to call Donald Trump out. I'm not afraid to call Barack Obama out. I think Barack Obama is a scumbag. I think Barack Obama is part of Lucifer kingdom. I think Bill Clinton is part of Lucifer.
Why would you say that?
Because some of the things that they have done on the American people, with certain assassination that had happened here in America, and a lot of American people don't know, but it is coming out how they use certain agencies to basically to silence people for not telling the truth.
And you think Trump is perfect?
No, Trump is not perfect.
Is he not even doing it within way?
I think what Trump is doing, he's doing it in an articulate way, but he's being transparent. I know a lot of people don't like Donald Trump, but Donald Trump is doing a great job. He's not trying to cause harm on anybody.
So, okay, yeah. What do you mean by a great job, right? Check this. There was just a recently, incident that happened with Donald Trump, getting Venezuela's president, overthrowing Venezuela's and then bringing it to American court. Is it fair? Because let's say American laws should be within American, space. Why should American law, extend to a different country? Because we live in a world now like slavery and then colonialism itself. So why would you go the extent to overthrow a different government in his own, and arrest him and then bring him to America for prosecution? Why?
Maduro. Let's talk about Maduro. Maduro is part of a cartel that was bringing drugs to America. That's what Donald Trump is doing. He's cutting off the drugs coming into America. And not only that, he's doing that to Mexico as well. Not only that, he's doing that to China. He's saying no more drugs coming into this this great country. The cartels used to run drugs through America, and now he doesn't want that. Fentanyl, it is really destroying people's lives, man. I have so many friends, relatives that had passed away because if you can touch fentanyl, you can die within seconds. So it's so potent, and I think that Donald Trump is doing a good job. Yes, I consider him the first black president of what some of the things that he had accomplished. Like I had said previously, especially with giving money to black colleges, and then Barack Obama and Joe Biden, they decrease it when they was like, nope, we're not giving all this money away. We're going to decrease it. I don't have anything against immigrants. Let me say that. I think there's a proper way to come into this country. You just can't come in this country with through the open borders. You have to apply to come in this country. And I think that if people do it the right way, they are allowed to come to this great country and live and really live and have a good time. Don't be offended because I wear this hat and it says Trump is the first black president. Yes, he is. And I'm going to tell you something what Donald Trump has in common with my mother.
What does he have in common with your mom?
Yes. Donald Trump was born on June 14, 1947. My mother was born on June 14, 1934. So when I look at Donald Trump acts just like my mother. My way or the highway.
Don't you think a lot of black people come at you for supporting Donald Trump?
A lot of black people, they come at me. They call me a coon. They call me an Uncle Tom. And then you got some that really support me. But guess what, my brother? And I'm going to let you in on a secret on your show. This guy right here will be going to the White House. And I'm going to have a conversation with Donald Trump. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having a conversation with the president of the United States. And we're just going to talk policies. We're going to talk education and we're going to talk immigration. And I believe that like Donald Trump said, people have to do it the proper way. And there's nothing wrong with that. I want to be clear to your viewers. Immigrants can come over here. I love immigrants, man. When they was in San Antonio, man, I love them because a lot of them women used to come over my house and cook and clean for me. And man, I love them women, boy. I tell you what, boy, they were some of the best women. And those are the women that I usually deal with, is immigrant women. And that's the only thing I'm mad with Donald Trump, because he stopped the women. And them women was good to me.
Okay, all right, so we're about to wrap up, right? I want to, tell viewers where to get your book, where to find you on social media, your numbers out there, if you want to put your number or your contact out there for people to reach out to you.
I tell you what, people can go to my website, paullamarhunter.com. Also, for social media, I'm under the name Paul Lamar Hunter, and I am available for book signings and speaking engagements.
Okay, so do you want to put your number out there that people could reach out?
They can reach out through my website.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Paul, for having you, on this episode. I really appreciate you, brother. All right, and I'm going to get you back again. Cool. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so thank you guys. It's been a wonderful, insightful conversation with my guest, Paul Lamar Hunter, coming from 21. I enjoyed this conversation with him, and I appreciate you for staying through, this whole episode. Thank you once again, and don't forget to go on our social media platform and search for K84 Podcast, subscribe, like, follow, and tell a friend to tell another friend that, hey, K84 Podcast is a vibe. And if you want to get featured, hey, just reach out to us on the number you see on your screen, and we will get in touch. Once again, I appreciate you and your time and your support. Bye-bye.